But I mean, it's ghetto ass. We're down in the ghetto, dude. I don't know that they don't have principals or people that are watching over that shit, but I mean, it's so fucking ghetto. Their fans, like a bunch of 20-something-year-old kids and like 30-something that appear on our side, and like standing between like our bleachers and like the field, taunting our players, taunting us. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. What are you doing? I mean, that shit wouldn't fly. That shit wouldn't fly at Columbian. You know, you can't go over there and fuck with the other team, fans and parents. And I mean, It was, are you kidding?
No, there's going to be an altercation.
You wonder why kids get fucking shot at like King and shit. That's why.
Yeah, sure. I can tell you this. We went over to a JV varsity game. So this is JV. It's on a Thursday night, so it's not the Friday night atmosphere. But we went over and played at my school, Lake Brantley. Went over and played at Evans High School, which is Pine Hills, Silver Star and Pine Hills Road.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Maynard Evans High School, right? But so I'm telling my wife, I'm like, fuck, we gotta gear up. We're going over to Evans at night. But I tell you what,
handing her some nunchucks and a flashlight.
From the time now, granted, this is a Thursday night, not a Friday night. But from the moment we pulled on to that school property, they had deputies. They had at every checkpoint. At every checkpoint going through the parking lot, waving you in, like that, and walking to the field. And they had people on golf carts that were quick to put any kids in check as far as if they were walking away from campus. Like, you got your pass. They're checking every kid on the campus. So these guys, it was actually the most secured atmosphere I had ever been to for in inner city school. But like I said, it was a Thursday night, and there was not nearly the student population that a Friday night playoff game would.
So our bleachers,
but Evans took it seriously. Like, security was serious.
Our bleachers backed up to the street. So people are walking by. I'm worried about a drive-by. You smell weed the entire game,
Of course.
Of course.
I expect nothing less.
I got my back to the street. I ain't put my back to the street since I've been born, nigga.
There's a fire engine down at the one end, and we're on offense at one point, and we're lined up, and they got the goddamn fire truck going off. I'm like, come on, what's that ghetto shit? I mean, they did it a couple times, like between plays or like on a timeout or something. They'd fire that thing up. But no, it's like the city of Detroit fire department. It's a fire truck with the sirens net on, and we're out there lined up on offense. Late in the game.
The siren off?
Like, what the hell? Yeah,
you gotta go to the whole. You gotta go to silent count. Gotta go to the silent count, man.
You can't.
Yeah, but how do you defend against the fire truck?
They're piping in music into the stadium.
Piping in music. You're piping in a fire truck siren. That's beyond a little home cooking. You know what I mean?
And again, I think you missed it. Sam was telling me after the game, his team had to stay there and watch the other team get presented the trophy for regional champ or whatever the hell it was.
Had to watch it.
And the refs are celebrating with their team.
Oh, sure.
It was just, and Sam said a guy on the sideline, the chain gang, he's like, the ref told the chain gang who was home, the home people that run chains. He's like, I want King to win. Fucking ref. We never had a chance late in that game. Never had a chance. But then our quarterback went down, and then we really did.
Well, yeah, as long as you guys didn't make it, like they were going to keep King in the game, sounds like. But if you guys would have completely outplayed them, and
we were down by 3, and like 2 of our last important drives, we start off with like a 12-yard run and a 9-yard run, and it's like late flags, call them back for holding, drive killer. So now it's 1st and 20, and we end up punting both those drives.
Sure.
And that
sucks, man. Especially when
it was a good run. And they were saying that's probably the championship. King probably goes on to win it now. D3, I would guess.
Yeah.
I think they're favored. They got
where were you guys? Where were you guys seated?
Oh, we had a terrible seed, and actually King did too. We barely made the playoffs. We had a 3-5 record and made the playoffs. We only did that because we don't play any D3 teams really. We played D1 powerhouses. We beat De La Salle, who was ranked in the top 50 in the country when we beat them. And we played D1 Catholic Central and D1 Dakota, who's going deep in D1 playoffs, and Central Catholic deep in D1 playoffs. D2 De La Salle will probably win D2 state championship. So we play murderous teams all season long. So if we get a win or two in there, but to me it's risky. If we wouldn't have beat De La Salle, then we don't even get in the playoffs in D3, and everyone knows we're one of the best fucking D3 teams. Yeah, we're not going to win in D1 or D2, but we can play with anybody D3.
Well, yeah, it seems like with King, with hell, their quarterback's going over. He's still going to Oregon, right?
As far as I know,
still committed. I mean, yeah, but he's a major recruit. I mean, you guys took them right to the end. I mean, sounds like you guys were in the game, right?
We were winning going into the fourth, and they scored 2 touchdowns. It was 12 to 7 going into the fourth, and they scored a touchdown, got the 2-point, and then they scored another late touchdown on us.
Yeah, but it seems like to hold a quarterback of that caliber to 12 points, for the game.
And the weather wasn't like crazy bad. I mean, it wasn't really bad at all, frankly.
Yeah.
No, it was good stuff.
Well, good season though. Sounds like. I mean, you guys played the best of the best in Michigan. It sounds like.
We do. It's fun. Next year we get to play a bunch of those Toledo teams. They're joining the Catholic League, so we get to play St. John's Jesuit, St. Francis de Sales, and the tough one up there, I guess this year.
Central Catholic, Toledo Central Catholic. Yeah, that's where Central Catholic is where that dude Gant came from. That went to Ohio State and then transferred.
Oh, I thought he went to St. John's, but yeah, Central Catholic in Ohio, they're studs.
They're the studs now. I mean, when back in the '90s, it was St. John's was the big boys. But well, cool. That's cool. We get some Toledo schools playing Detroit schools.
Yeah, it's like they're supposed to be like the biggest Catholic league now. So I'm like, well, good. At least they didn't bring in Ignatius and Ed.
Yeah.
I think actually one of the losses that King had on their resume, I think it was King. They went down and played Moeller, Archbishop Moeller, and lost. So that's the thing. King wasn't a high seed either because King had a mediocre record. They didn't have as many losses as us, but they had 2 or 3 losses going in the playoffs. But again, they
their schedule was right.
So.
I might as well. I mean, it seems like the way the playoff system is set up now in high school, so many teams make it. So why not go play? Why not go play a big schedule that may get you 7-4 or whatever, or 6 and I don't know. They play 11 games or 10 still. But whatever,
No, like
6, 7
wins. Might have played 9 because you play like
9.
You play like 6 more in the playoffs. I think we only played 9.
Oh, they division, what is it? 8A down here in Florida, the big boys. Brantley is, I think they played 11. So I think their regular season's 11 and their playoffs are still the same way. I mean, everybody fucking makes it. But these kids are playing 17 games probably for a state title.
Well, we were such a low seed. We beat the number 1 seed last week before facing King, but everyone knew King was probably the favorite. They won it last year with these same dudes,
Right.
All right.
Anyways, there's your Michigan high school football review.
Yeah. On the hockey season.
Hockey.
I talked to a Toronto guy last week. He was the meeting I had with that podcast network. He works for the hockey arm or puck I would call him the Puck of the podcast. And he's out of Toronto, and I was like, okay. So I tried to like mimic his accent.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They got nothing going on, man. I'm sure
Yeah.
they have a lovely podcast network for hockey, but they have nothing for football. They got like
Trying to grow into the southern part of North America.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep shopping around.
Barry
Anyway.
Melrose is big up there. Get a little Barry Melrose on here.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd talk to Barry Melrose. That dude would be worth talking to.
I would too.
For sure.
They would cream their pants if they spoke to him, but let's do the intro and then kick it off.
All right.
Yeah, brother.
Buckeye Nation, welcome to the Buckeye Cast, your only commercial-free Ohio State football podcast. These guys were
Not for much
born and
longer.
bred in the Buckeye State, and they like to talk Buckeye football and drink bourbon. Subscribe and leave a review wherever you get your podcast. Now, pour a drink and pull up a stool. Here's your host, Joe Warwick.
That's right. Pull up your stool. I mean that in the cleanest sense possible. We're freaking back. It's our weekly show, 8 p.m. every Sunday night, approximately 8 p.m. We always start a little late. We want to let everybody get in, get warmed up, get their drinks poured, get a little saucy. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're watching on YouTube. And we do have this show in podcast format if you need to go back and just listen to the audio. We appreciate everybody supporting the show. If you want to buy us a shot or a round of shots, there's links in the show description. We do have our TBC Plus subscription service. If you want more Buckeye info, you can't get enough. You want to talk post-game Buckeye stuff, get a free t-shirt. By the way, somebody filled out a free t-shirt form and they never signed up for the subscription. So you might want to sign up if you want the t-shirt. It's kind of, that's how it works. You sign up for the subscription service, then you get the t-shirt. It's not in reverse order because that doesn't make sense. One more programming thing. You guys got to go back and check out last Tuesday's interview with President and CEO of the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Mr. Gary Stoken. That was a great interview. How'd you guys like that? He had a lot of good info on the, especially expansion, right?
Yeah, for sure. I thought that was great. Yeah, good get for the Buckeye Cast. A knowledgeable guy, good guy, regular guy. It seemed like, and yeah,
that was an easy conversation too.
Check it out.
Yeah, go back and check it out, folks. Definitely worth your time. Is just 30 minutes. We kept him longer than I thought we would be, but he wanted to talk and he had a lot to say. That was
he wanted to stay plenty long. That was great.
Yeah. And a lot of good information about what they do in Atlanta for the Peach Bowl. So go back and check that out. YouTube, podcast, whatever format you like. So in lieu of, well, let's do a quick one sentence bourbon talk. Any bourbon worth mentioning tonight?
Guys. Oh, I'm still working on that Woodford Double Oak. Good stuff. Enjoying it.
Yeah. It's like drinking a campfire.
I have a campfire going. I got my daughter's out here roasting some s'mores right now. Still, the temperature dipped to about 60, so we're trying to live the cold life.
Yeah. Enjoy it. I was out there tonight too. It was pretty awesome on the waters. Sean, you dipping into the bourbon or what are we doing?
A little bit. Sunday nights has become my empty Friday nights football flask night. So just polished off the last bit of the Weller 107. The last bit that was in my flask, not in the bottle.
Right.
So
why is something left in your flask? Is my question. That's what driving home was for.
Yeah. There's a lot of barrels, man. I need to take it easy.
Right. So, quick question for you guys. This is off topic, and first question: have you started watching any Christmas movies yet? And if you haven't, how soon is too soon? Jeff, I know you're a big Christmas movie guy.
No, I have not started watching any. There's very few that I will watch. It just if they're on periodically through the year. I mean, I might check out a little bit of Elf. Christmas Story, they don't play anytime other than Christmas.
False, already on.
I just fucking really, god damn it. See, no, too early.
It was on like a week or two ago.
We have a great holiday staring down the barrel and Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's great. The Friday after Thanksgiving is perfect to recuperate and watch football again. We need to celebrate Thanksgiving, and let's not just focus on Christmas. We don't need. I mean, if people want to put the lights up, put them up, but you don't plug them in yet.
What's the point of putting them up?
Well, I mean, people get out early and installing in my neighborhood, and all the they have the service that comes around and install all the openings, the gates, and
that's a hell of a business move too.
It is too. I don't know what you do for 9 months, but for 3 months you're fucking slammed.
Get those gutters ready.
Get those gutters ready, right? I think it's too early personally. I mean, we haven't hit Thanksgiving yet, and Thanksgiving should be celebrated. You know how people have those blow up, with the blow ups in their front yard with the string tie downs. Well, I saw one just today. Had a turkey with like stepping on with one leg, stepping on a tied up Santa Claus, and it said, "Not yet, fat man. It's my time." And it's a turkey with a top hat and shit. And I thought aggressive. That was the coolest blow. That's the coolest blow up I've seen yet.
That's very,
so people had an aggressive. Listen. I mean, they had Santa tied up with rope on the ground with the turkey stomping on it.
If I may, you guys have turned a little bit thin-skinned, I feel. So no, yeah,
I'm for watching.
Weather. I'm for watching It's a Wonderful Life whenever you get the opportunity. So if that's out there, I'll see it.
Okay.
That's it.
But beyond that, more into the Christmas lights and where this led is you don't understand. You guys are Floridians now. You can go out there and do that shit anytime you want. What everyone was talking about up here is we just had a pretty decent weekend, which may be our last. And no one wants to go out there in that shit when it's 20 degrees and hanging those lights. So that's why a lot of this stuff gets done at this time of the year, especially for us Northerners.
Hey, I have no problem with it, Sean. I was asking about movies. Have you watched a holiday movie yet?
I don't.
Christmas Vacation?
I don't watch movies so much. So often. No, I haven't watched any of that.
Okay. Will you? And at what point will you fire one up if it's on TV or?
Well, I mean, if I catch some Rudolph or some shit like that, a quick hitter for a half hour, I'll watch that anytime it pops on. It's good stuff.
That's still an hour with commercials.
I tell you what.
Give me some peanuts. I mean, of course I want to see.
You gotta have peanuts. What?
I want to see the Peanuts Thanksgiving first, and then
I think they give you some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I agree. Peanuts is one of my favorites. My wife doesn't like it, so.
Oh, Peanuts are so classic.
I know.
But I tell you what, though. If National Lampoon's Vacation, Christmas Vacation's on TV, and I'm going through, and I see Clark about to go off on the brainless, dickless, hopeless, sackest monkey shit that ever lived, I'm turning that in for that. Because
I already watched it 2 weeks ago.
I will tune that in anytime. I don't care if it's July. If it's Griswold, I'm in.
Yeah.
Bad or Santa plays year round as well.
Oh,
Bad Santa, yeah.
You don't see that on cable though. They how do you don't see it on the
That's on YouTube TV.
No, it was on a cable show a couple years ago, and I was like, oh, you can't even have that movie.
Right.
And so
they beat the fuck out of it.
You watch about 5 minutes of it, it's like, all right, this is no good.
Yeah.
I started just buying the shit because we use Apple TV, and I'm tired of, connecting my laptop to the fucking thing. And I'm like, to the TV, I'm like, if we want a movie like Christmas Vacation, we're going to buy the son of a bitch. It's $15. We got it forever. Hopefully I'm around long
Forever.
enough to enjoy it for $15 worth. But I already
What's
watched
that?
Christmas Vacation like a couple weeks ago. Bought it. I'm like, well, let's do it. Let's get it warmed up. And then
Convenient Hooter, hotter.
yeah, I mean, and it's unedited, so it's the good version, which is hard to find. Like with Bad Santa, I'd imagine the NR version is difficult to track down.
Yeah.
But anyways, I just wanted to get you guys' take. Like I said, I'm already up into the holiday movies. We watched
Too early
Grinch.
for me. Too early.
We watched
for
the
me, bro.
Jim Carrey Grinch the other night. What else? Oh, we've watched probably 3 Christmas movies already, and we'll recycle them again. Probably watch them 10 times between now and
All right,
actually,
Joe, getting in the spirit early. I like it.
yeah, man. I don't have kids, so I enjoy drinking and watching Christmas movies. Anyways, I just wanted to break into that. I am drinking some of the one of the better bourbons I've ever had is Colonel E.H. Taylor. Hard to find. I struck gold today, found it for $100 a bottle online, and it was on sale, obviously. And then Eagle was $70 on this website, so made a little bit of a bulk purchase there. Love the Colonel. The Colonel always rides in the back seat. And so anyways, before we get done jacking around, we probably should talk about this Indiana game. So I got some questions for you guys. Well, first of all, first and foremost, can we get a round of applause for Mr. Cam Bat?
Goddamn right. High salute to Cam Bat. Highest of salutes.
Thank you, young buck, for all you have done and all you have survived.
I wasn't sure how you were going to approach that, Joe. I was hoping you'd get to it because I did want to have a moment for him.
Yeah.
So well done.
So, young guy, been through a lot, done a lot, and we're happy that he had his moment. Might not have another opportunity again in a Buckeye uniform. So, yeah, let's
I feel like I want Cam to be around the organization forever, and be a graduate assistant and work himself into a lifetime freaking Buckeye, man.
That player personnel role, something like that, Ryan Stamper, CJ Barnett is in that role now. Yeah.
He's more of a spiritual person, I would call him. So maybe that would be the angle. If he wanted to still be involved in the program, maybe there's an angle there. As I don't know if he's got the more authoritarian point of view, like a CJ or a Stamper. Those guys were former cops, both of them. But so anyways, yeah, I think he could be definitely a consultant, a guy that kids can go to with anything, and or just a spiritual support guy. So, and his mom was there. That was awesome. I follow Amanda on Twitter. She's really a positive person, and she said this is the best Buckeye game she's ever been to. I could definitely understand that.
That's so cool to. I mean, imagine your son going through what he's going through, watching, and not being there for him. It's not like he was still in high school or something and still at home and you're helping him through all this, but he's doing it from the St. Louis area, I believe, right?
Yeah. 6 years later, 4 ACLs.
6 years later, 4 ACL surgeries
and a meniscus tear in there mixed in.
Just sprinkle that on top. That's just a little topper.
And that monster black knee brace he was wearing. Jeez, poor guy.
But you hear the way Ryan Day talks about him, and I mean, I caught the. I was actually working yesterday, and so I listened to the game on the radio. I was able to rewatch it later, and I'm actually watching it a second time right now. But I listened to the game, so I got the Paul Keels, Jim Lachey version of everything. which is a different, it's different to catch the radio broadcast and then being able to go back and watch the game. But the way they were describing his touchdown celebration and what was going on in the north end zone for a period of time after the extra point, and even almost to the kickoff,
they got the delay of game. They got the delay of game because the whole team came down the sideline to the end zone area.
And agreeing with the two calling the game, they were totally happy with whatever penalties were coming. To see the celebration of the team and how much it meant, because Jim Lachey was taken back by how the team was reacting to Cam's touchdown. Like for him, Jim Lachey, a former All-American, Pro Bowler, whatever. But he saw, like, you could tell that Buckeye pride was hitting him in his voice. Just kind of trying to quickly get in and describe what was happening. Really,
I think Herbie would have been choked up if he were on the TV call.
Probably the same type of thing.
How he gets. He stays up in the booth and watches Carmen, Ohio after every game when they're in the shoe, or even not in the shoe. When every Buckeye game, he gets misty and lip syncs the words if he's not singing it out loud.
And if he wasn't out in the booth calling the game for a national broadcast, he probably would want to be on the field with him, Right. But yeah, it seemed like it seemed like a really cool. I couldn't wait to go watch the game, mostly to see that play more than anything else. I was super happy, when I heard it when he said, "Go Cam Babb's checking into the game," and then bam, touchdown. I was like, "Oh,
he was in for a couple plays, but they got in deep in the red zone, like around the 10 or 11.
I was actually getting rid of some used bourbon at the time, and I came back out, and my son's like, "Dad, Cam scored," and he's like, "See the celebration." But little did he know I had YouTube TV on my phone in the commode, and I saw that shit too.
Nice.
But just that my son, and I can't say that he's usually hyper aware of stuff like that. But he's like, "Man, that was fucking cool."
Sean, I have no judgment over guys that pee sitting down either. It's just
so
much more comfortable.
I was trying to keep it clean. I wasn't just peeing. I wasn't just peeing because I wouldn't have missed that much of it. I was in there from well before.
No, I'm not judging. I endorse it fully. Anyways, yeah, it was a great moment, and that will be remembered forever. So anyways, let's talk about this post game. Buckeyes roll 56-14, dominate, take care of business. This is one of those games that we finally didn't have anything weird going on. It was snowing a little bit, but it wasn't windy. I don't think the snow affected the game whatsoever. So my question for you guys is, starting with you, Sean, was this a complete game by the Buckeyes?
This really was. I mean, it was a year back game. We needed it too, especially after last week. And I think this got us back to where we needed to be, the confidence that we're playing with, at least as far as a team. Obviously, there's some concerns going forward, especially at the running back situation and what there. But this win, to me, offensive, defensive, was complete, and it was never in doubt. And I was actually happy to see it snowing. I'm like, good, give me some adversity, give me something that we got to fight through and still be that dominant team. And so that we did have some snow, and it wasn't blowing crazy. So it wasn't that big a deal, but it's something. The ball's wet, it didn't coming out exactly the same. You got to squeeze it a little harder, blah, blah, blah. But I think all the way around, huge game, huge win, but it's also Indiana. So I don't want to get too whatever over it.
Yeah. Get morning wood. Yeah. Jeff, what do you think? Complete game or not?
Yeah. Obviously, the running game, health of the running, the running room is a concern, but I thought so, yeah. And listening to it on the radio, I have a little bit different perspective this week. Just listen to the plays as they're called, and Keels and Lachey do a great job. But and I was listening to a lot of overthrown passes, and and CJ couldn't quite connect with so and so or so and so on this play, that play. And now that I went back and watched the game, I was seeing those incomplete passes, and I was thinking, I'm like, God damn it, why CJ just missing people? I'm like, this is another week in a row where the win shouldn't be the factor, but he's still missing people. But then going back and watching the game, I felt a lot better about the plays, and I didn't see like a quarterback that was starting to face some confidence issues with missing targets, which is the way it kind of sounds when you don't see how the ball is thrown. You're just listening to what they say. But we have a national title team. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I would say there were a couple of drops in there if you're talking.
Julian Fleming was a big issue.
Yeah, he's good for 1 or 2 a week.
And they thought, they look like the DB made a great play breaking that ball up at the last minute. No, that ball hit him in the chest.
Yep, did.
And he might not have scored, but that would have been first and goal inside the 5. Probably
that was a
inside
deep
the
one.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah, early second quarter, I think.
Right.
We ran the ball with whoever the fuck was back there, like we should have, like what we'd see against a 1-win team in conference. We ran the ball. We ran the ball, and then we threw when we needed to, and we got out when we got out starters when we needed to, and all good.
Our guy Tyler in the chat says this was our most complete game by far up to date. Emmanuel, new guy in the chat, welcome into the show. Emmanuel. He says Fleming will get it together, 1 drop. Yes, I know it's 1 drop. But
no lack of confidence no lack of confidence in him.
1 drop, they'll crucify you.
Yeah, where's Cassie? I'm the Russian judge, right? You guys are sunshine blowers. Anyways, offensive explosion, 662 yards, 322 through the air, 340 on the ground. Wow.
Yeah, that works. That works. 300
third down
each
efficiency was 50%, 7 of 14. Could have been much better. There were some short yardage things, and Ryan Day said after the game that he was like banging his head against the wall with some of these issues with trying to get short yardage conversions. And it's just fucking irritating, and I'm right there with him. Defense was dominant, held them under 300 yards. We'll get into some of those guys. Do you guys have a quick game ball you want to give out? 1 offense, 1 defense? Jeff?
My first game ball is going to Cam Babb.
Okay.
Obviously he wasn't the most impactful offensive player, but I think that's the clear cut. And a day where anybody could have been the star if they would have just focused on that person. We could have done what we wanted to. We put up 56. If we wanted to just go at them, of course, name your score. We could have hit whatever we wanted. But for Cam Babb to get that touchdown and to get that team's involvement, to get that emotion out of the whole entire team, to see that, I don't know who else you give the game ball to. I mean, they named him a fucking captain, not even knowing if he was going to be able to play it down this year for that team.
And the block O jersey.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's your first and foremost game ball. On defense, I love watching what Lathan Ransom and Ronnie Hickman are doing. They brought in the running quarterback. We moved to 3 linebackers and just let Ransom and Hickman do their thing. I don't know. A defensive. Defensive. Eichenberg, Steele, Ransom.
You got to pick one.
Make them fight for it. I don't know.
Sean, what do you got? Offense, defense. Jeff just took like half the defense, so good luck.
Well, you could do the same thing on offense. Obviously that Babb gets the touchdown is super special. Mm-hmm. But lots of other things going on in that offense. CJ's right in the Heisman ship, I think, from last week. You got backup running backs coming in, and XJ maybe having the sweetest run I've seen in a couple years. That was a nice run, but I'm going to give mine to Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, he's otherworldly. He's a freak of nature, and I didn't expect it of him, and I am just so surprised at this guy's chops. I always thought it was like, oh, he's going to tail off. He's going to tail off. He can't keep this up. He's getting lucky. No, he's the best dude out there.
He's Blitnikoff Award winner.
Yeah, he's
like
out of
now.
control, man.
Don't even come at me with anybody else. Hyatt, Hilton, Courtyard by Marriott. Nobody.
This guy's week after week.
Yeah.
Best Western, you can sit the fuck down.
7 catches, 12 targets, 135 yards, a touchdown. I'm going. So you guys heard it here first. Everybody lock it in. Don't take my shit. Don't take my material like some people on Twitter like to do. Xavier Johnson is a weapon. Use him.
Yes.
Yes. Use him. He can do it all. He can run out of the pistol. He can line up as a tailback. He can line up as a slot, and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can take a short pass for 70 yards. He could take a sweep for 70 yards. Xavier Johnson is a very unique player. And I think you got to get him the ball and get him into the game. Almost like you would, I don't know if you need to dial up plays just for him, but you could. And obviously, I know that there was some sloppy tackling on that 71-yard scamper, but
hey,
it's 71 yards. It's not like
if you go 71 yards, he makes some he made some of them sloppy tackles.
You know
too.
what? In
I mean, you go 71 working the way he worked,
right?
I mean, that's how
wet conditions.
That's effort.
There's always bad tackling.
That's true.
That's
true. But
you overcome it. If you fight to keep that ball moving forward.
You don't easily. He doesn't step out of bounds. He doesn't, fold up and go down when the safety is near him, like a quarterback or somebody might. Or, I'm telling you guys, Xavier Johnson is a weapon. I know he's not like the fastest guy on the team. He's not super flashy, but I'm telling you, he's got to get in the game a little bit more, not just because of that one carry, the one, in a couple catches.
Maybe he's starting to earn it. I mean, he's shown some good, obviously versatility so far through the season, and I think it's real nice to have Xavier Johnson when JSN's on the what?
What's that?
No, I just heard a bunch of background stuff. Sorry there.
I heard a dog. I think it's Jeff.
Oh,
yeah. I can't. They're in the other room. I can't control what's going on in there. I don't know.
No problem. No, it sounds like he's licking your face or something. But no, I just think.
No, he's licking his own face.
that guy has been super, I think, helpful to the whole offense. He's to the running back room, to the wide receiver room. He can fit in and he can do whatever he needs to do.
Yeah. So it sounds like from what Mayan tweeted out after the game, he's all good. I think it's just this: we're never going to have Trey and Mayan in the same game after week 1. Is how it looks. It's either one or the other, with Dallin or Xavier, backing him up. Chip was out this week. We don't even know what he looks like coming out of the backfield. So
I want to give a hat off to Dallin while you mentioned him. For the kid coming in there and running hard and taking care of. So super jacked about his experience and being a workhorse. 19 carry running back.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some good comments in the chat. Tyler, he actually stole one of mine. Most important thing he noticed was Josh Fryer played great at tackle for DeJuan Jones.
Sure.
And Emmanuel agreed, said He saved OSU in the Notre Dame game. Yep. And Tyler also mentions that Xavier is a Swiss Army knife for the offense. I agree 100%. He just makes plays. I mean, so I did want to mention Josh Fryer. When you don't have to mention an O lineman, that's probably a good thing during the game. Still had some issues with Donovan Jackson in the run game. He was laying on his face a few times. So we got to get that O line shored up. And I'm not saying Dwan Jones sucks, but Josh Fryer had a good day.
Oh yeah, I don't know why you need to preface Josh Fryer's good day with that statement. I would not say for 1 second that Dwan Jones has been the focal point of our struggles on offense either. Josh Fryer
been
did exactly
been
what
a
he was
little bit of
supposed
a
to do.
problem with his false start penalties. They come and go, kind of like a bad case of herpes.
Well,
they show him at the wrong time.
Again, let's pump the brakes on. This was Indiana.
Of course, yeah. You gotta, scale it down accordingly.
Oh no, transitive property. Indiana beat Illinois earlier this year. They're the legit team.
Indiana's probably got the worst defense in the Big Ten, right?
Well, yeah, clearly stated.
I thought Northwestern did, but we made them look pretty good.
No, Indiana's defense was ranked the worst. So it was the worst defense versus the top offense. Yes.
Right. Let's talk about wide receivers. We talked about running backs, I think. Wide receivers, Marvin Harrison, like I mentioned, 7 catches on 12 targets, 135 and a touchdown. Cade Stover coming into big man.
My God.
3 catches, 4 targets, 45 yards, 2 touchdowns. Great effort to get into the end zone and stay off the ground where he went like horizontal to the ground and stretched it out, kept control of the ball, which many people cannot do. They end up fumbling it into the end zone. Mecca, 2 catches, 3 targets, 38 and a touchdown. Took a pop on one of those deep shots. And we mentioned Xavier had 2 catches for 47 on top of that big 71-yard carry. And Cam with the touchdown on 1 catch. So nice day through the air. No issues there. I would have liked to see CJ a little bit more efficient in the completion percentage. I think he was 17 of 28. Yeah.
29. So, I thought it was okay. It's 20,
whatever.
And a lot of that was early. I think a lot of those passes he missed were early. It seemed like he missed more in the first couple of drives outside of the scoring. He was a little inaccurate. There was a couple where he rolled. He had a good pocket, but didn't see what he liked. Rolled right, had the reverse field, come back left, and it was like kind of on the roll, throwing like a lead out pass, and it was just a foot or 2 outside. Yeah, you're right. We would like to see him a little more accurate, but overall effectiveness, I'll take a few less percentage points on the completion percentage when we're able to hit big play. Right after that block punt, we go up top to Marvin, boom, touchdown. That strike, that quick strike effect was there. We weren't missing on those deep balls necessarily. We were able to hit big plays. So just watching right now Xavier Johnson's touchdown run again. That's skill. That's effort, man. I mean, I'm just watching it again. There was some sloppy tackling, but fuck that. I mean, even if it was the best tackling team in college, it was still a fucking 50-yard play. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, a lot of dudes will look to go down and fold up after 30 yards, 20
I can't fight, man. So happy. He came from a school in Cincinnati I've never heard of. They mentioned it on the broadcast. I can't even remember the name. It was like a mother of something or like country something. I don't know. It's like a weird private school name. It's got to be a small school. But good for him, man. I mean, David Johnson, every time he touches the ball, he makes plays.
So let's run through this defense real quick. Defense was dominant, 269 total offense allowed, 9 3-and-outs. That's 9 3-and-outs. Seems like a bad plan or a bad strategy to run tempo when your offense is terrible. Again,
they didn't shy away from it, though. They kept at it.
Seems like we've talked about this multiple times throughout the year where the offense or the defense for a team probably hates the offense. I think we talked about it with Iowa. Yeah. I would really say if your offense is running tempo, Sean, what do you think? Think it's a good idea to run tempo if your offense doesn't get first downs?
You know what? I think when that coach, and one thing that I kind of like about that coach, I mean, he's not good for Ohio State, but I think he's good for Indiana, is, I don't know, he likes to do his thing, and he knows the game's out of reach, and he's just going to coach the way he coaches, and he's out there having fun more than anything, just like, hey, guys, let's go out here and compete, and he's always got a positivity on him, and I think some of that's what does it. You're not he's like, hey, you know what, guys, we're going to lose. Big deal. Let's go out here and do our thing and do the best we can. And I think that's I think that's kind of his mentality this year. They're done. So at this point, what do you expect him to do? Go out there and do what you do. Try and get better at what you do, because that's what he wants to do. When he was good, he did it that way. So he's just trying to get, I think, back to that, and knows that this year is a wash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's one point of view. Anyways, Buckeyes had 11 TFLs, 4 sacks, Steel Chambers. Have yourself a day, 10 tackles, sack, TFL. Lathan Ransom, obviously the defensive MVP, also had the block punt. What do you have? 2 sacks.
They gave him a half on one and a full on another, I guess. But I mean, it could have been 2. If the other guy wasn't there, it would have been 2. So yeah.
Eichenberg, 3 TFLs. Jack Sawyer committed murder on the field.
Oh my God.
I can't believe that quarterback got up and made it into the locker room after that hit. I saw it coming. I was like, the guy dropped back. Jack came from his front side, not from the back side. Right. I was like, oh my God. This guy doesn't see Jack Sawyer charging at him, getting a 3 or 4 yard head start, and Sawyer just lays him out. So hopefully Jack has not been arrested by Columbus PD yet. He did have 2 sacks, a couple TFLs. Cam Brown, I got to give props to the corners when we can. It's rare. It's not often. No Denzel Burke this week, so no props for you. Cam Brown, 2 passes knocked down, so good job.
Gave up the one big play. Gave up their first score. Gave up that one long pass. It was
well, the safeties were also to blame for some of those deep balls.
The touchdown pass itself too. I won't give him too much for that. I mean, the guy's 6'6", 260. He outjumped him.
Yeah,
I mean, he was in good position. But he got bodied by a bigger dude. I mean, that happens. And
I don't know. I feel like the effort was there. The technique was not. I feel like he was in position to make that play, and
I'll take position. Get yourself in position. If you're not in position, then we've got bigger problems.
Well, it was. I think he was in position.
You're right, Joe.
Didn't
You're
have
right.
the proper technique. He was in the right position and didn't have the proper technique when he was there. But the effort was also there. So it's like, man, I mean, yeah, you're talking. That's the game.
Right. First game off an injury too. I mean, we don't even know what's really been bothering him so much. Is it a shoulder? Is it an ankle, a knee? I mean, can he explode up as far as for those jump balls, or is it the shoulder where I don't know what Cam Brown's injury is, but he would miss like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
So first game back.
It's a leg injury of some sort.
Is it of some sort? Okay. But
that's
overall,
as specific as I'd like to get.
Yeah, I'm like, if you knew more, you would tell it. You wouldn't tell us. But overall, good game. Jordan Hancock played a good game. Denzel Burke wasn't on the availability list, but I saw him in the shoulder pads on the sideline, but no helmet, didn't play. Defense played great. I mean, 12 punts or 13 punts total. I mean, we scored so much and so quick, we kept giving them possessions. Yeah. But fuck, to have 13 of their possessions or 12 of them in punts, like you said, Joe, 9 or 10 and 3 and out.
9 were, yeah.
What can you ask for? That second touchdown, that shouldn't even count against the defense. You fumble a punt.
Yeah, and that guy won't see the field ever again.
Stocksdale, yeah, thanks for coming. Have a seat.
Well, that's really.
We'll never see him return another punt.
It's to me kind of what is an outlier stat or whatever for Ohio State is that we score so much, so that lends itself to having at least a lot of yards put on you, and we're holding the yards and the points in check on guys, and we're giving guys lots of possessions because we're scoring, like you said, and so that stat to me can be misleading. I think we've got a top D in the entire country.
Oh yeah, you might have missed.
They got us ranked 6th, right?
You might have missed this week's Daily Blitz on. Let's see, that would have been Thursday, I believe. I did a breakdown, offense and defensive stats for Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. Also, you missed that, didn't you? Huh?
I did.
Yeah, sorry to hear that. You might want to subscribe to the YouTube channel or the podcast. Strength of schedule also, I included that, but I won't get into too much of it here. But yes, Ohio State is top 5 in most defensive categories.
Yeah, which to me is amazing considering the opportunities that they give other teams. Mm-hmm. It's hard to keep that number in check.
Right. Yeah.
Especially the passing. Especially the passing,
Sean,
because they have to come back. They got to start throwing on you, and you're gonna give up passes. But we're not. That's what it's like. It's insane to me.
Mm-hmm. Right. So score predictions. Buckeyes were favored by 41. I had 52-10. Sean had 38-10, non-believer. Jeff, 52-17. I guess I'll go ahead and take the win on that one again.
Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, because I wasn't close at all. Sure.
You went over. It's the Price is Right rules.
Hey, I'm a proud loser on that. I wasn't sold. Good. I had some lingering questions about Stroud. I knew the weather was going to be and I like, you know what? Fucking Buckeyes be just like the Buckeyes. Come out here and play a half-ass game. Fucking beat these losers by 3 touchdowns. Lame.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I had Emeka and Steel Chambers. That worked out well for me. Steel had a hell of a day, led the team tackles. Sean had Cade Stover. Good day. Cody Simon was on the field.
That's Jeff exactly what I said.
He played well. He played well when he was on the field, though.
Yeah.
Cody Simon played well.
Right. Jeff had Travion, who didn't play, and Denzel, who didn't play. So
nice.
Check your availability report, son.
I wanted both of them to show me something, and obviously they're unavailable. So
they showed you their backsides.
The best ability is availability. Famous coach once said.
Yeah, Tyler, you had Cade Stover. I didn't have anything down on defense, so you get half credit. Let's see. Let me catch up on this chat here. Tyler says Jack Sawyer. Yeah, Jack had a hell of a game. Emmanuel LOL'd. Steven's back in. Where you been, Steven? I think I gave you some credit last week. Steven says keep the one on the bench. Fryer has some dog in him. I'm fine with that. I love dogs. So let's get into this Maryland pregame real quick. We're not going to spend more than a couple breaths on Maryland. This is a 3:30. Thought it was a nooner, but is a 3:30 on ABC, coming to you from, check this out, Capital One Field at Maryland Stadium in College Park, Maryland. Did you get all that? Write it down. Mike Loxley bringing his squad in here. What are these guys? 6-4. Oh, they're bowl eligible. I can't believe it. 3-4 in the conference.
Just lost to Michigan State,
they-
right? This weekend.
No, they just got smoked by fucking Penn State.
Oh, that's right. No, that's right. And of course, Penn State's coach, he always wants to run it up on Maryland because that's where he used to be the assistant.
But he was supposed to be the head coach. He was promised the head coaching job, and they handed it off to somebody else back in the day. I don't know if it was that
was BF
DJ
Region.
Durkin era or
No, before Durkin, it was
Ash?
Ralph Regent.
Before that.
No, he was supposed to take the job when big fat Regent made it.
That's crazy. I thought it was after that. That was a long
He was
time
OC
ago,
then.
man. Okay. So, anyways, Loxley, mediocre at best as a head coach. Definitely a good offensive coordinator.
Hell of a recruiter, they say.
Sure. He owns that DMV area. I mean,
And he
he
recruited
got
heavily
Rakim
for
Jarrett
Saban.
to stay home. So these guys are their recruiting ranks are not terrible, honestly. They're 31st in the country, 7th in the Big Ten. Seems like they would be higher in the Big Ten. But anyway, 31st nationally is not bad.
Good.
Strength of
Get some
schedule
talent.
is 44th. We have played 27th, so just gives you an idea of the range of difference. Like we mentioned, these guys got hammered 30-0 by Penn State. Talia, I always fucking fuck up his name. 74 yards passing. Good job, son. Running the ball, nothing.
Was he healthy? Did he play the whole game? I didn't. I watched 0 of that game. I don't know.
Yeah, he
about
did.
that game.
He did.
Wow. Wow.
They did nothing on the ground either, like 60 yards, including sack yardage. I mean, these guys had a total of 134 yards on offense.
Well, with those weapons and with him healthy, I mean, if he's healthy and playing, I know he went out earlier in the year, and I didn't. We weren't sure if he was coming back, but holy shit, Penn State's defense is good, but not Iowa good.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Heads up.
So
Maryland.
I would say the Maryland defense is the big problem before you get to the offense. Then you talk about the offense and it's not pretty. I was looking at some of their position rankings. Let's see. Let's talk about
O-line. Because
you want to talk pass blocking, run blocking, what?
You want to break it down? I don't know. Tell you with the passing game. They got 5 stars on the receiver core. Give me the pass
Hit
blocking.
me with some shit.
I got some shit. Pass blocking this past week was a 49. So for range, 60 is doing your job. Like 60 is average. Okay. So that's average. They did it. They had a 49 against Penn State. The week before, they had a 62 at Wisconsin. Did well against Indiana, Northwestern. Against Michigan, they had a 45. So obviously, the tougher the competition,
They feel
competition. Yeah, they fold up.
Yeah, all 5 guys came out onto the field. That's about the ranking is.
Yeah. You should see their pass blocking numbers against Penn State, 28.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, this is another get right game.
Run blocking was a 40 against Penn State. That's not great,
God.
Bob.
Oh my God.
I don't think they should try running the ball. 53 against Wisconsin, 59-9 against Northwestern. So they're barely, above water. Defensive wise, tackling is a huge issue. Against Penn State, they were a 38 as a team, 38.
The team defense. Hold on, Joe.
Yeah, that's
you saying
team.
the PFF ranking, the 60 is average. 60 is like
Yes. Yeah.
It's average. That's a 75 is a 60.
Yeah,
and you
it's
saying they
doing
got
your
30,
job. No more.
A 38
no
on defense. A third. Come on, man.
I'm guessing
that's
they
the
had
problem. That's
20
when our strength of
missed
schedule
tackles.
looks like dog shit. That's why we're never going to get any credit. Luckily, we're going defeated. But with one loss in our conference, you get any credit for having one loss because of those fucking stats that you're telling us. We better fucking roll them just like we did Indiana.
Right.
That's horrible, man. Like, step it up. I'm glad your recruiting's 30th, but
right.
God damn it.
I like this game for the simple fact I think it's gonna shore up. They've got the only thing they can do is try and pass on you, right? They got some playmakers, whatever, and they're gonna try and pass on you, and it's gonna give our defensive backs some good looks, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
that's about all I expect out of this game. I don't expect it to be much of a game. Hopefully, I'm not surprised.
I don't think you will be. I think that's a good point because the corners need plenty of experience and technique practice, obviously.
Hancock especially because he's missed so much time. Like, he just needs reps. You know, somebody hopefully Maryland throws the ball 55 times. You know, and we just get reps. We get J.K. Johnson in there, and we get our corners rotating a little bit, like our D line rotating a little bit, where they can, you know, just constantly get reps.
I think
Hancock was great, but you know, he's damn
Hancock,
near like a true freshman.
What's that?
I think the young boys can hold their own, and I'm, you know, where I was real leery probably about our cornerback situation early in the year. If with Burke and Cam Brown, even with both of them out, we got some guys. I feel like we got some dudes. So I feel like now that's what was maybe our thinnest is a area of depth that we have.
All right. I agree. It's good to get these guys some experience. They've done well for the most part. We have had some misses here and there, but let me catch up on this chat. Let's see. We got Stephen Cherry always throwing his prediction in 52-17. He has already. Tyler, I think Stephen uses the same score every week. Anyway, Tyler says this Maryland offensive line is going to be a long against our defensive front and long day against our defensive front. Yeah, I agree, Tyler. That is right on cue. So let's get into our score predictions. I'm going, let's see.
Give me a spread, Joe. Give me the spread.
I got you. I got 27.5. Over under is 64. Let's start with Sean. Sean, what do you got? 27.5. That's 4 touchdowns to you and me.
Wow.
That's four to me and you. You and I. I think I mean, after seeing these guys play lately, I think it's gonna be a problem for them. They probably get a field goal and then late touchdown. I'm gonna go 52-13.
Oh, okay.
Is that what that Stephen Cherry fucking?
He's got 17. 52-17 is what he had. So you're going a little under.
I think they're going to get a field goal early, and then they're going to probably get a field goal before the half, and then score a garbage touchdown to get them to fucking 13.
How's this 7-day, 6 day, 7 day, whatever?
It all plays out in my head, man. It all plays out in my head.
When he was on the shitter, he envisioned all of it.
Yeah, that's right.
I got this.
I forgot. It's much more comfortable, Sean. I'm not going to make fun of you because I do too.
I am.
You don't sit down and pee sometimes, like maybe after a few drinks.
Right behind my toilet in my master bedroom, I have a little window. Right, so you know what I did? I put a fucking shelf right in front of that window, and I put my phone on that shelf, and I prop it up perfect. I don't need to sit down like a woman and piss.
Oh.
I will sit there and piss like a man and still watch my game clearly in beautiful HD TV on my phone. Just build a shelf, Sean. Just put a shelf up. You don't need to sit like a woman.
Geez, and you got to do this whole setup thing. You got to pull the thing out the back of your phone and calculate. Right. I was trying to get comfortable. And
what if you go in there with an iPad? How do you hold that while you piss? Yeah, use your pecker for the touch screen. Oh, damn it.
That's
Oh,
why.
damn
That's why.
it. I need a
That's why you
towel.
build a shelf, guys. That's why you build a shelf.
Nah, I don't believe that. Anyways, give me your score, Jeff.
27.5. So it's a 4 touchdown, and we were what, a 6 touchdown favorite over Indiana here. 4 touchdowns. I think we cover. I think we're cover city here.
This forecast
I think
doesn't
I'm
look
gonna
too
go-
bad either. I wouldn't be too worried about the forecast. They're calling for 44 at 7 p.m. or so 48 at 1 p.m. 47 at 4 p.m. Yeah.
All right, so
very
so
little.
mid 40s, a little clear though. I mean,
Yeah.
DC
Yeah.
doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go 52-13. Yeah, we'll go 7 touchdowns and a field goal.
You're gonna match Sean, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 52-13.
Let's go.
There you
Like
go.
mine's, mother.
Mine
Hey,
no.
That sounds
Mine
right.
no.
It sounds right. 52-13 sounds right. Or you
Does
know,
it?
yeah,
All right.
it does. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
All right, man. I'm thinking. Excuse me.
56-14. You fucking asshole.
No, I'm going 59-20. I
20.
think. Yeah.
59. We're gonna lay 59.
All it
on
takes
the ground? Okay.
is one DB to fall down a couple times. 59-20. They got 5-star receivers, man.
Hey, no. Them scoring 2 touchdowns through the air wouldn't surprise me so much.
We
On
still
the deep
cover.
ball.
We
You're
still
right,
fucking
Joey.
cover.
Our deep ball defense does kind of worry me still. Just those jump balls, those 50-50 balls, just because we've lost more than we've won, I think, this year. So I agree with you that you might get, we seem to leave our defense in a bad spot every couple games or so. With a muff punt or whatever, and set them up inside the 20, they throw a little 50-50 ball in a corner. Yeah, you can see it that way. But yeah, I say 13. Maybe they get a second touchdown and go for 2.
Mhm.
These guys,
but yeah,
these guys played Michigan 34-27 at Michigan.
Right.
they said Michigan's toughest game of the year was Maryland. I heard that this weekend.
Well, that was
from
before
some broadcast.
Talia got hurt, though.
Yeah, he got injured in that game, right? Was it that game that he got knocked out of?
Oh, yeah, he might have. Yeah, but he had 2 picks in that game, 1 touchdown. He didn't do much. Anyways,
he's supposed to be healthy now, though, right? He's supposed to be like we're not playing like a win.
Yeah, he played against Penn State.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's go to our microscopes, Sean. Since you are feeling good, who do you have on offense and defense?
On offense and defense. On offense this week, I'm going to go with Jeff's boy, Cam Babb. Back it up, back to back.
Really?
Touchdown. This gets ugly early, and Babb's in there for another one.
Wow. Okay. I like it. Who do you have on
I'm
defense?
watching his celebration right now on the TV as he came over to the sidelines. That's awesome. It just be able to soak it all in again. That's pretty cool to watch.
Who do you have on defense, Sean?
On D, I got to take my boy Jack Sawyer. Back it up.
All right. I like
Another
it.
game like that.
Yeah, he was destined for one of these breakout games. I think it's just the tip of the iceberg.
I know. I feel like it's all coming together right now, and with JT, the whole D line, our D line, and we got dudes, and we'll keep throwing dudes at you, and I don't know.
So many dudes, you don't know what to do with all these dudes.
A lot of dudes, man.
So many dudes in your space.
Yeah.
On that D line, there's a lot of dudes.
It's true. Jeff, what do you have? Offense, defense on your microscopes?
Offense. I'm gonna go to the well one more time. Trey Henderson. Coach Day made it clear after the game that he expects you back this week. Is he blowing smoke, or are you gonna be back off of that walking boot and able to produce? We need a running back to take a hold and step up. Stay healthy and play a game. So Trey Henderson, let's go. Defense. I think everybody's playing great right now. I don't have anybody that really called into question. Let's see Denzel Burke come back. See if he comes back. See, find out what his health from the health
Back
issue.
to back Jack, but going back to back Jack, I love it.
We're going Denzel. We're going Trey. Come off your injuries. You're expected to be back next week.
Didn't work the first time, so it definitely has to work this time, right?
Well, fucking play like all Americans. You guys were, highly touted guys. I want to see them. I want to see them make impacts. The rest of the other 10 on both sides are playing great. Give me something out of these two.
I don't care about Trey on that. I mean, even if Trey is healthy, let's just do a healthy. I think this game gets out of hand early. I'm hoping. And I want to see a bunch of Dallin Hayden and maybe Xavier Johnson back there.
Okay. I like it. So let me get my microscopes in here. You guys are done. I'm going with the all initial team offense. This seems like a layup. We should probably not be allowed to take route man Marv anymore. But I'm taking Marv since nobody outlawed him. Taking Marv on offense.
Yikes.
So MHJ on offense, gonna feast. He's getting a dozen targets at least. And I'm going JT on defense. Like I said, MHJ and JT. JT's gonna bounce back and probably kill Talia. He may be wanted for murder in the state of Maryland after this game. I do have a couple guys in the chat I want to get in here with their microscopes. I forgot to write down. I got to write down some scores here. Let me come back to that. Tyler has Cade Stover and Zach Harrison on his microscopes. Steven, the psychopath, I love this guy, and his positivity or just insanity. He says, and I quote, JSN shocks the world in his comeback game. I love it. I hope it's right. I hope he's right.
A week after his dad says, definitely not any time before the Michigan game at the minimum. But I appreciate it, Stephen.
You watch it play out. Insider information, you only get it here. The Buckeye
right. Or just random conversations spewing. I love it. So great microscopes, everybody. I had something I needed to do. Let's talk week 12. Week 11, any scores, any games you wanted to talk about real quick before we get into week 12?
Hey, I watched that Washington TCU. Oregon game. I watched Washington out through on Oregon.
Right.
They got the number one passing offense in the country. You know that? Fucking Penix. With the number one offense passing in the country.
Because somebody finally gave him an offense he can work with.
I watched Penix carve up Michigan State earlier in the season, and it kind of set them on their downhill trend. But, I mean, like, Penix looked like all pro, throwing off the run, just throwing dimes and bullets and whatever he wanted to do. I'm like, what the And he carved us up one year, didn't he?
Yeah, until he got hurt. He just gets hurt because he's got no old line typically.
But that kid's got some skills. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So the knocks Oregon out of the picture. I mean, they're out of it.
If they were
USC, they beat up on Colorado Friday night.
Nah.
So the one loss to USC. You're likely. I don't know. I watched the UCLA game like first half. Probably fell asleep shortly in the third. But I don't know if USC still has for USC. So USC's got one loss. I mean, USC's in the driver's seat in the Pac-12.
Jeff, stop with the Pac-12. Stop. They're not going to make the Final Four. I'm only watching games that matter to the Final Four.
USC could get in there. If USC wins out, If USC wins out, they're in.
Joe, I wasn't fully aware you had a bug in the fucking committee room. But you need to let me know that. If you know for
USC
sure
wins
that
out,
the Pac-12's out, then tell me that because you
and,
know
and
from
that
your
committee,
sources.
frankly, that committee wants
Fuck out
USC in that game.
Why are they ranked 7th last week?
Look, because that's where they need to be. But if they win out,
What do you mean 7th? They can easily move up in 2 weeks from fucking 7th.
They went out, win their last 2, one against the Notre Dame ranked team, right? Don't they got them coming up? And
they got Notre
then
Dame last game of the season.
And then they'll have to play who in the Pac championship?
Oregon or Utah,
right? Which
and
is
winning that conference does not mean shit.
If USC finishes out with 1 loss, they're in. I'm almost certain of that.
Over TCU, over Tennessee,
Ohio State or Michigan,
over
Ohio State
Tennessee.
or Michigan, probably Ohio State or Michigan.
The win over the loser of our game, yes. But you know, Joe, you want to get to TCU Texas? Great game. Watch that as well. TCU looks good. TCU.
Mm-hmm.
So TCU stays undefeated. Yeah, TCU's gonna go in. They're gonna be number 4,
and they're gonna get beat up when they go in there.
Oh, probably. Most likely. Sure.
LSU struggled with Arkansas, as Tyler points out in the chat, with the 13-10 win. Ooh, get the fuck out of here with your 2 losses, LSU.
Of course. But
UCLA lost to Arizona. Get the hell out of here. I don't know why you watch that game anyway.
But Joe, listen, 2-loss LSU.
LSU earned it.
They're gonna play Georgia. If they win their next 2 games and Georgia wins out, they're gonna play Georgia for the SEC championship. If Georgia beats LSU, LSU's gone, obviously. Georgia's in. But if LSU were to pull an upset on Georgia, now you got 2-loss LSU that's going to be in as SEC champ, of course. And then Georgia, most likely with 1 loss, is in. So there's 2 slots. LSU, no, they didn't look great against Arkansas, but they don't have to look great. All they got to do is keep winning because they're already going to play, with the way it shaped out with Bama beating Ole Miss. LSU's in the SEC title game.
That was another struggle game.
Most likely
barely got past Ole Miss.
And by the way,
sure,
as far as commercially,
I thought Ole Miss was going to pull it out, but
and big time.
Bama's gone. Ole Miss is gone. They're all out of the picture. It's LSU. If they beat Georgia, now you're looking at 2 SEC teams in for sure. 1 loss Georgia and 2 loss LSU. Yeah, they're both in.
What about a 1 loss Tennessee?
No, because
why
Georgia
not?
thumped them. Well, because you're looking at conference champ and then the best 1 loss team, the number 1 team in the country.
And Georgia handled them.
And Georgia handled Tennessee head to head, so that's why Tennessee's ruled out. Joe,
but LSU has 2 losses.
They're going to be if they win, they're going to be SEC champs. SEC champs are going to be in the playoff, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, come on. Now, let's be real. That's
so hold on, Joe. So who do you think's going to be in?
Why would you think they wouldn't be?
Place? You don't think a 1-loss USC is going to get that 4th spot in something like that?
No, the Pac-12, the Big 12 and the Pac-12 do not get any respect, man. I'm telling you,
they're going to get spots.
No,
USC.
I don't respect them.
I think USC, they've got 1 loss. If they can run it, they will get in because Ohio State, Michigan have to play each other. And again, depending on the LSU, Georgia, I'm expecting Georgia to fucking dominate everybody. So that leaves Georgia at the 1 spot, winner of Ohio State, Michigan at the 2 spot. If they lose, they're completely gone. Then if TCU loses at any point, then the Big 12's out. And I'm expecting TCU to lose because they're going to get smoked if they get in a playoff, I feel. So they lose, let's say, and Ohio State or Michigan just lost, and Bama's done. Well, who's in that conversation? Tennessee, USC, and the winner loser of Ohio State, Michigan.
Yeah, I don't think you can, depending on how the game goes, I'm not sure you can rule out the loser of the Ohio State Michigan game. depending on how that game goes. Obviously, if it's a nail biter like 2006, if it's an overtime game or something, and say TCU loses, which is very possible. They still have to go through their Baylor next week. They're only favored by 1.5 at Baylor.
They were a dog at Texas. I mean, how good are? But they, what? They find a way.
Well,
they do. But
I don't even know who they would play
till your clock strikes midnight.
Yeah, find it away against Texas ain't the same as find it away against Georgia or Ohio State.
And they have to play the best team, the second best team in their conference in the championship game. It's not division.
Right, and that right, Joe. They don't have division, so I don't even know who they're in line to play.
Which is
it? Gotcha.
That would probably be Oklahoma.
And they're trash. I mean, I think the Pac is a lot better than that Big 12. That Big 12 is weak as shit.
Actually, I was wrong. Oklahoma's terrible. K-State is 5-2, 7-3 in conference. Oklahoma State 4-3. I'm sorry. They're 5-2 in conference, 7-3 overall. Oklahoma State 4-3, 7-3. So they would end up playing K-State.
Yeah, so that is such garbage. The Pac is a lot better. At least you got Oregon, USC, UCLA, Utah. Those are respectable games. Washington. Those are teams that are. I don't respect any of that Big 12. None of them really.
But all those teams you just named in the Pac-12 have 2 losses at least on the season.
Yeah. Beating up each other, because I think there's a bunch of solid teams out there.
Yikes.
Well, but there's a bunch of solid teams out there.
But regardless, TCU, if they went out and undefeated, they're going to get in the 4th seed at the least.
Yeah, my guy Steven has it.
Do you guys agree?
He says
Joe?
What Steven says that the Pac-12 is done. That's why USC and UCLA are running to the Big 10.
Well, this is good. This is good commercially for us then. To what I'm saying, a USC getting in at this point. Kind of boosts the Big 10 and even reduces the Pac. 10, 12, whatever the fucking Pac is.
And then say it's a USC High State first round matchup. We fucking put one on them by about 3 touchdowns. And then they come in and join our conference.
Right.
And then we tell those 3rd, 4th, and 5th tier teams in our Big 10, go get fucked. We got guys to take your spot.
Tyler,
new rivalry.
Notre Dame's struggling against Navy. They were up big. Navy came back. I don't know how Navy comes back on anybody with that offense, but they were down to an onside kick.
Slowly, Joe. They do it slowly.
Right. It's like turning a battleship, right? So let's talk about these big. I got 3 Week 12 games worth caring about. We got Illinois going to the Big House. Michigan's favored by 17. That's a big noon. No, it's a noon ABC. And then we got TCU, like we mentioned, number 4, favored by 1.5 at Baylor. Baylor's got a really good defense. I like Dave Aranda. That's a noon game as well. Georgia is the SEC game of the week, going to Kentucky on CBS at 3:30. So you guys got any quick takes on those?
Michigan, Illinois.
That's a tough game, although I think Illinois' running back got hurt last week.
Oh, did he?
See,
I'm pretty sure.
That's key. I mean, that's huge. I think because Illinois is not flooded with depth. So,
but their defense is not bad, dude.
No, it's not. But
but when you have a running game, your defense is always good. Because they're not out there forever.
Of course,
I think that's tough. If their running back is out, I mean, because they want to do exactly what Michigan wants to do.
Yeah,
offensively.
Bert loves that. Bert's Wisconsin ball. Man,
he wants to. He's gonna run it. He doesn't give a fuck if both teams are under 13. He doesn't care. He's fine with that. But that's what Harbaugh is fine with too. So
they are.
As far as depth and overall talent, Michigan. Now you said Joe spread was what, 13 or 17? 17?
Yes.
3 scores.
At the big house.
Yeah.
Wow.
That seems excessive.
You know, that seems right now.
I don't think so.
Not knowing status of Illinois' running back, I think I might take Illinois with the points, but I expect, but there shouldn't be a threat to Michigan. I don't think they're a threat to Michigan.
They're not. It'll be a blowout. Michigan will beat them by 30.
They're really okay. Well, even with their running back, because he was a leading rusher in the country.
He was a stud.
Chase Sanders. Is that his name?
I don't know, but with him being out, they're done. They just don't have the guys.
Yeah, they got no depth,
and
right.
they will. But you know what? What they're going to be, I think, an up and comer over there in the West.
I feel like somebody should be. God damn it! We're waiting on one of you. Any one of you that want to
USC
and be a part of this.
USC or UCLA. We had to break. We got to import it. I don't know.
right. Yeah, somebody. Yeah, any one of you that wants to step up and be a big league program.
We thought we were doing that with Nebraska, and we ruined them. We ruined the program.
Yeah, they would love. How much would they love to go back to the Big 12 right now?
The problem is
with Colorado. If Colorado leaves the Pac-10,
Oklahoma is about to suffer the same fate. Texas is not, because Texas is Texas.
Oklahoma's going to fall. Oklahoma's going to become Nebraska. You're right.
Yes,
I think so too. I think so too.
Well, back to the Michigan-Illinois game. I got no updates. I got no updates here. Said he was helped off in the final minute of the fucking game. He was writhing in pain on the field, and Bielema had no updates after the game. So it's going to be kind of a wait and see approach this coming week.
Well, here's the thing. Frankly, it matters zero whether Michigan wins or loses this game. I think Michigan plays soft, and maybe, Jeff, you're right. I think Michigan's got the talent to blow them out. Maybe they don't even use that talent to blow them out, because it doesn't matter. Even if Michigan lost this game, if they beat us next week and then win the Big Ten championship, they're fucking in. This game is almost meaningless.
Yeah. Right. I mean, right.
As far as
except for the playoff hopes, if they lose this game, playoff hopes are gone. But
no.
I mean,
if they lose this game, their playoff hopes are not gone.
Well, you're right. Okay, if they beat us, you're saying if they lose this game and then beat us,
it makes the path a lot more difficult. But all right, before we wrap up quickly, we got 2 minutes. I need your CFP top 4 that you predict. Your top 4, don't try and guess the fucking the committee's idea of a top 4.
The way we see it, our opinion.
Yep. Okay. Give me your top 4, Sean. 1 through 4.
Top 4. Hold it. What are you trying to find? Like how?
Your top 4.
My top 4.
Your top 4.
What I think the best 4 teams in the country are. Yeah. Okay.
How you see it? How you see it? Not how you think the rankings.
If the playoffs were to be played tomorrow,
I would say it should be Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Tennessee.
Okay. Jeff.
I will go Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU.
All right.
At TCU, I think TCU's earned it with their undefeated record.
Yeah. Okay.
I think they played. They beat everybody they played, so I think they deserve the 4th seed.
I do too. I'm going the same. I'm going the same. Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, TCU.
Right. I mean, yeah. Tennessee might be a better team, but they've lost. They've lost to a top 4 team. TCU hasn't lost to a top 4 team. They haven't lost to anybody. No, they haven't played a top 4 team, but they haven't lost.
You asked me who
your opinion, Sean. No, your opinion. How you see the top 4 being?
Yeah,
that's what we want.
Oh yeah, I mean it's going to come out just how you guys said it. But I'm telling you, if TCU played Tennessee, I think Tennessee would smash them. I feel like half the SEC teams would smash TCU, frankly. Ole Miss,
Well,
Mississippi State, Georgia, Alabama, all of them would beat TCU, I feel.
my point is, I don't think the committee will see it that way. I think the
Oh,
committee
no,
is
the
going
committee won't for sure. No, it's going to be what it is.
but
There's going to have right now the top 4 to me is absolutely locked in. It's going to take wins and losses between obviously Ohio State, Michigan play, but it's going to take losses to move that top 4. That's the only 10-0 teams. It's locked in at that, but it'll play itself out. And I think obviously a Michigan, Ohio State, someone's going to lose. I see a TCU losing. Hopefully Georgia doesn't. If Georgia loses, then probably another SEC team gets in. If Georgia wins out, then I think it's just Georgia. Maybe Tennessee.
Yeah,
I
agree.
Tennessee, but Tennessee might backdoor it in there.
Right. You're saying, best looking versus most deserving. Most deserving, I think, is TCU.
No, don't take it in any other direction. That was it. I do want to remind people to go back and listen to that interview with the president and CEO of the Peach Bowl, the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl guy. He had a lot of good info on the playoffs, how they determine, they do side-by-side comparisons and stuff. And then he also talks about the expansion, right?
Yeah, he went in depth about the expansion more than we would have ever questioned him about.
I really got the feeling that's happening sooner than we estimate.
It's just a matter of contracts, man, and money talks. So yeah, I mean that's just a matter of making the money work. They want to get to that because there's a big pot at the end of it. So if you can make all the money work in the minutia in the middle, make it all work. The end result is going to be a big payday. They want to get to that big payday sooner than later.
Me too.
He pretty much stated it that way without saying it outright. Very smart man. Yeah, great interview. Y'all need to check that out. Gary Stoken from the Peach Bowl in Atlanta.
Right.
Great interview.
Yeah, good 30 minutes of a lot of info
and some stories. He had some stories that he just threw in. We weren't even going there.
And we weren't your typical idiots. I feel like it was.
No, we conduct ourselves very well, even for drinking.
We didn't get any bourbon talk out of Gary. We didn't ask him for any. But
next time we will. We're gonna have.
We thought about it.
We're gonna have him on again. Like
I think we should. I think we should have him on again.
He said he would come on.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get a hold of him.
I tell you what, boys. We end up in that Peach Bowl. It might be hard to keep me out of that town that weekend. I tell you what, I might be making a trip. Take him up on the offer for that College Football Hall of Fame tour.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm going to Atlanta if the Buckeyes are playing in the playoffs.
Well, all right. Well, I'll see you there.
I won't go to Miami, but I'll drive farther to go to Atlanta.
Yeah, you have to just swing over on the turnpike to Orlando. Pick me up, brother. I got you half on gas. We're good.
Just half?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You set up the interview, so do I need to pay all the gas? I will, I guess, if that's needed.
No. Cash,
Sean, check your flights, brother. Meet us down in ATL, brother, for sure.
Yeah, send me your
cold. Come on down.
Hey, anything you guys need for gas, send me your Venmo. I'll send it out.
All right. Talk to you guys later. As always, we appreciate everybody listening. Check out everything. Oh, you got to order your Beat Michigan shirts. Fuck. If you wait until next week, you probably won't get it for game time. Order your Beat Michigan shirts now.
This is the game. This is the biggest game. And well, let's not get ahead of ourselves, but this is the big. It's coming up, man.
Yeah.
It's setting up for it.
So visit thebuckeyecast.com. Check out the section. I have a whole section of Beat Michigan shirts. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. And we will talk to you. Well, I'll be on the Daily Blitz tomorrow. We'll talk to you next week otherwise. All right.